Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Like my other honorable colleagues, I also commend the special committee for the job they have just presented to us. And I have only one observation as far as the report is concerned, and that is on page 4, I believe. Yes, page 4, under the objectives. The committee was supposed to inform members of the National Assembly about the state of the implementation of the regulations and their effects on the lives and livelihoods of people and institutions. They have done well in terms of institutions. They've contacted a lot of them. They have interviewed a lot of them. But I believe the people are left out. I would have thought when the committee visit markets, they will not only stop at talking at the authorities of the market, but even the women who are coming in and out, they could just stop them, ask them some questions, and they would have told them how they feel about what is happening in the market. The same could have also applied to the transport sector. Not only the drivers, not only the unions, but the passengers themselves could have been asked a few questions. That's just a way of observation. Madam Speaker, I fully support the content of the report, but with the exception of the extension of the 21 days. I do not and will not subscribe to any form of extending the state of public emergency if regulations are not adhered to, just like many of the speakers have said. The special committee was tasked, or let me put it this way, when the Honorable Minister was before this August House and asking for 90 days, we agreed to give them 45 days with scrutiny and observation, so that at the end of the 45 days, if the virus is gone, thank God. But as it is now, it has not gone. When he comes to us, we would look at the 45 days that have just elapsed, and based on that, we should be able to make our recommendations. And by what has prevailed in the past 45 days, it's a form of failure. The regulations are not adhered to, and therefore that defeats the purpose of the state of public emergency. If the regulations are not adhered to, there is no point in the state of emergency, because the two goes together. On that basis, I do not think we should extend this public state of emergency. The 45 days of public emergency had brought more hardship on the Gambians. And this report has said that clearly. People have taken it on their own, increased transport fares, which made life extremely difficult for commuters across the country. Why would we add the burden again on our citizens? If we do that, we are not fair to ourselves, we are not fair to our people as well. The intention of the public state of emergency is good. And the intentions of the regulations also is good. But the fact that government cannot enforce the laws, there's no point of extending the public state of emergency. Madam Speaker, nobody doubts the reality of COVID-19. It is real and devastating. Over 4 million people are confirmed to have the virus. And a good number of these confirmed cases died. Across the world, Gambia not an exception, even though the only death victim we have is a non-Gambian, but nonetheless it is confirmed on our soil. So nobody is doubting that. And I am of the view that we should do everything possible to contain and fight the disease. It is really deadly. But unless government is able to enforce the regulations, there's no way we can make an headway. In other parts of the world, they are relaxing restrictions because they have done extremely well. There were total lockdown in most parts of those countries. And because they have done that very well, they have reached a level where they can relax the restrictions. But we started and we have not gone anywhere because we cannot enforce our own regulations. So we just paying a lip service, but actually we are not serious with the disease. I fully remember a few weeks ago when the Minister of Health was here, he said, left him alone, we'll go for a total lockdown. But that also goes with cost and resource. But that is the best thing for us to have done. Total lockdown and people be provided with the basic necessities of life. Then we would have gone to a very good level where we can talk of relaxing the restrictions. But we have failed in that. So since we have failed in the first 45 days, why would we increase? I support fully all the content except the extension of the 21 days. The burden and hardship, Madam Speaker, the market vendors, I think are the most people who suffer. Most of the markets are locked at the beginning, and then at some time it was relaxed a little bit, but even though, like some speakers have alluded to, the fact that time is given, limitations are done, are increasing the chances of congestions in our markets. The social distancing is not respected, and it seems government is frustrated. They have no way, no means, or have to control the social distancing. Where they cannot even control the social distancing, what are you talking about the reduction of the passengers on the vehicles? It's not happening. Most vehicles are congested. And again, the drivers are paying double, are charging double. And yet nobody is doing anything about it. So why would we just push our people into that hardship? No one is doubting the seriousness of COVID-19. But the fact of the matter is, we are not treating it seriously as it is serious. That's the fact of the matter. So I would not subscribe to any form of extending the public state of emergency, because it's only going to add more hardship onto our people, those in the markets, those at the open markets, that's Lumos, people who are committing. Yes. Unless we are able to come up with methods and mechanisms to reinforce, I cannot support it. Madam Speaker, to conclude, because the substantial motion will come soon before us. To conclude on the report, I would say that the first 45 has given, which is given as opposed to government's demand of 90 days for scrutiny, has completely failed. The government has completely failed in that, and some of them are teased out by the report, and therefore what we should do now is to say no to any form of extending the public state of emergency until we have something concrete from government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Ilyasa.